Welcome back to Squawk Box this morning. Billionaire investor Paul Singer's activist hedge fund Elliot Management has now taken a $2.5 billion stake in Masayoshi's SoftBank. This coming after SoftBank poured $10 billion into bailing out WeWork and after multiple SoftBank-backed startups announcing major layoffs in just the last year, including Zoom, Fair, and GetAround. Joining us right now on what could be next for both SoftBank and Elliot and whether this is the fight of the century. Bradley Tusk is here, CEO of Tusk Ventures, also Kenneth Squire, founder and principal of 13D Monitor. Good morning to both of you.
Morning.
It feels like a fight might be coming. You're not so sure.
Well, I think that you can see all the reasons why Elliot finds this attractive, right? The valuation is clearly there. While the Vision Fund gets most of the attention, it's really only a small part of SoftBank's overall portfolio.
It's Alibaba, and Alibaba.
Exactly. So, look, you could see why it makes sense for Elliot. And if you're SoftBank, the question is, how many controls can you choose to live with, and do you want to fight this out? I mean, it seems like of the different reforms that Elliot's calling for, SoftBank has only 2 of 11 independent directors, and obviously most people find to be concerned. And quite frankly, from the tech sector, if you look at the way that SoftBank has executed the Vision Fund so far, it really seems that they could use a little bit of governance and discipline.
What do you think of the idea of going at a Japanese company? Now, Dan Loeb tried to do this many years ago, if you remember, with Sony.
Yep. Oh, well, I mean, people have been doing it. Warren Lichtenstein did it a long time ago. People have been going, it's the laws, the activist strategy is not developed. The laws aren't developed like they are out in the West. The shareholder base isn't as friendly to a Western activist. As far as SoftBank goes, what Bradley said, 2 directors are independent. According to ISS, only 1 director is independent. They're all male. There's certainly governance changes that can be made there.
So what do you think is going to happen, though? Don't you think that Masa is going to say, talk to the hand?
No, well, listen, no, I don't. I think this is about the power of persuasion, the power of the argument.
Right.
As Bradley was saying, Vision Fund is 13% of the assets of the company, but gets most of the talk.
Right.
There's $270 billion in assets. There's a $90 billion market cap. There's a lot of value to be created there. I think Elliot's going to come in, ask them to do a $20 billion buyback.
Right.
And the biggest beneficiary of closing that valuation gap is going to be Masayoshi with his 22% ownership.
That makes sense, although it's interesting because the entire ethos of Masayoshi and SoftBank, and I'm investing for 100 years, I'm creating a new world. It's not, let me close the discount to the NAV of my company through a buyback.
For sure, but if there's ever a moment where maybe they want to question that ethos, after WeWork, after a lot of WAG and lots of the investments
But this is a guy who's had this enormous shoot-the-moon success, who's been allowed to do basically whatever he's wanted, frankly, with the help of the Saudis, with the Vision Fund, and just about everybody else. And the idea that all of a sudden, he's going to have minders running around.
It's not all of a sudden either. He did a $5 billion buyback last year, and the stock went up 17% as a result of that buyback. And that was without an activist, at his door. It's not going to take a lot to, I think, appease Elliot here. I think they're kind of they're like-minded in a sense.
Is there any sense, we mentioned this before, for 25 years we've been hearing about activists going to Japan, LBO guys going to Japan, because there's enormous value there. And now the valuations are actually at a discount to U.S. valuations. Is there any sense, they've talked about they've created the Nikkei 400 to focus on ROE. Is there any sense that Japanese companies in general are more open to activist pressure?
Well, they've been talking about that for years, even back when Dan Loeb first went to Sony, and the climate was getting better for corporate governance and allowing this, but it's been very slow moving.